This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make it with Squarespace. What is up guys, Joel here, back with another video, and this one is a long requested one. This is what's on my iPhone, and the current iPhone of choice that I use is the iPhone 10. Now in my last video I did a what's on my Mac, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link down below in the description, or you can click the link right here on the top right corner. Now I want to run as quickly as possible through this video because I have a lot of apps. As you can see here on my second screen, all the apps are in folders. I kind of want to keep things organized, or I try to at least. So instead of spending so much time on stock iOS apps or apps that you probably already know about, I'll go into more detail about the apps that you probably should check out, something that I would recommend, and elaborate a little on why I use those apps. So starting on the second row, there is the YouTube app that you already know about because you're watching this video. Next up is the YouTube Studio app, or the Creator Studio app. This is what I use if I ever need to edit a description of my videos, or if you comment on one of my videos. I use this app to reply back as soon as possible, but it's also useful to track my views and things of that sort. So if you are a content creator on YouTube, I definitely recommend using this app if you haven't done so yet. The next app is a calendar app, and it is called Fantastical or Fantastic Cal, but this is probably one of my most used apps because I'm always keeping different reminders or events on my calendar. So I use this one over the standard iOS calendar app, and one of the reasons for that is because I can see everything on one screen. So all my events, also any reminders for that current day. And you can simply swipe down to change the view of the calendar, so you can go from weekly to monthly. But you can easily create an event or a reminder by simply hitting the little plus icon on the top right and set it for a specified date or time. But that is the Fantastical app. If you want to check it out, I definitely recommend it over the stock iOS app. The next app is the Reminders app, which is a stock iOS app, but this I use quite a bit. And the previous app shows these reminders, but here I'll be able to see and manage all my reminders that I have set and also put them in different lists. So I have different reminders like to-do list, a grocery list, and also things to do for YouTube, for example. All of that here in this app. The next app is another stock iOS app, which is the Notes app. I use this to jot down notes. So here's a little quick note for this video that you're watching. But I do use it if I ever need to remember something. I just jot it down on my notes. Now the next row has my podcast app along with music, Spotify, and SoundCloud. So this is kind of like my audio row. So if I want to listen to any podcast, I use the standard iOS podcast app right there. And then I'm a subscriber to Apple Music, which is right there as well. And then Spotify, and then SoundCloud. I use all of those throughout the day depending if I want to listen to podcasts, music, or long DJ sets, which I listen to a lot while I'm working out. That's what I use SoundCloud for. But yeah, these are probably my most clicked on apps throughout the day. The next row is kind of like my social media row, where I have Facebook, and then I have Facebook page where I manage my JBTech 17 page. This is where I post about different videos, photos, and all that good stuff, and reply back to you guys if you comment or message me. And then next to that is Instagram, which I'm pretty sure you already know what that is by now, but feel free to follow me at JBTech 17. Lately I've been doing giveaways and stuff, so feel free to follow because I enjoy interacting with you guys. So leave a comment in one of my photos or slide into my DMs. Don't be nasty though. The next app is Snapchat, which I've used less and less after the update came out, but you can go ahead and follow me on there. Here's my Snap code. I do post every so often now. I now use Instagram stories on Instagram a lot more, so follow me on Instagram. Now on the last row, I have the Home app, which is going to be Apple's HomeKit app. Here lies all your HomeKit accessories. For example, I have Philips Hue light bulbs, and then the light strips, and also the Logitech Circle 2 cameras. So I can turn my lights on and off, or view a live feed of my cameras. And then I also have my August Smart Lock, where I can lock and unlock my door, all through this app. The next app is called Deliveries, and this simply helps you keep track of all your packages, whether you're sending one or receiving one. All you got to do is type in the tracking number or scan it, and then it'll log it into this app. And then it'll be very easy to keep track of your stuff. That way you don't miss any packages. Now down here on my dock, I have the Safari app for web browsing, and then I have the Mail app for my emails. I just use the standard email app as well for this. And then next to that, I have Tweetbot, which if you haven't heard of Tweetbot, it's going to be a another Twitter client, so I actually prefer this one over the regular Twitter app because this still has everything in chronological order from the time it was tweeted out. So on my timeline, I can see the tweets in order instead of having the most important tweets or whatever Twitter thinks is more important to me. I like using the Tweetbot app because everything is in order. Feel free to follow me on there if you're not yet at JBTech17 and keep in touch with what is going on. Now, before we do continue with what is on my iPhone, I want to give a quick shout out to Squarespace for making this video possible. So whether you need a domain, create a website, or want to sell some merch, Squarespace makes it very easy to do. So Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that lets you create an awesome website by simply setting up a domain or transfer your current domain, then choosing a template as a starting point that suits your style, then customize it to your needs, and you are good to go. Now, with many nowadays using mobile devices to view content online, what's cool about Squarespace is that when you do create your own website, it'll automatically create a mobile version as well. That way people that are using mobile devices have a good viewing experience when they are browsing your website. So with Squarespace having award-winning 24/7 customer support, you can have your website up in no time. So if you are ready to start your own business, head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you are ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/JBTech17 to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now, continuing with what is on my iPhone, this next page has the rest of my apps sitting in different folders. The first folder is either stock apps from iOS or some apps that I've downloaded that Apple makes. Nothing much to really talk about here, so let's move on to the next folder, which is my Google folder. So here in my Google folder, I have a lot of Google apps. So I have Google Assistant, I have Google Chrome, also have Docs, Google Drive, Gmail. So I honestly don't know why I have all these apps downloaded, because the only ones that I use the most is probably going to be Google Assistant, Google Chrome, and also Google Maps, because Google Maps, I use that whenever Apple Maps acts up, which is quite often still. So I use Google Maps as a backup if I ever need to get directions anywhere. I also have Google Photos just in case to back up my photos and videos, because I also use Android. So if I ever want to see a photo or video that I took with my iPhone, it'll be uploaded to Google Photos and then I can just view it or download it on my Android device. But other than that, I also have Sheets here, and that's pretty much it. Now the next folder is my entertainment folder, and the first app is the MLB at Bat app. So as far as sports go, I'm a fan of baseball. I play baseball. So this app, I can keep track of my home team like the Texas Rangers, but that's the MLB at Bat app. I also have the DirecTV Now app, which is the one I'm beta testing, which is pretty cool. I also have Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, AMC, Adam, Fandango. The bottom row is all for movie theaters. So if I want to buy tickets and stuff, I can use those apps. But I also have Twitch over here on the next page, along with Xbox. I did used to stream. Maybe in the future I'll stream again, but I do play Xbox, so that's why I have the Xbox app as well to keep track of messages or anything like that. My next folder is my finance folder. So here are things like my banking apps and also other apps to pay bills and things. Nothing too exciting, but this is my finance folder. And then I have a food folder, which I need to delete a lot of these apps because they are temptation. So I have things like DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates, and Uber Eats. These four are food delivery apps, which are great if I'm ever out of town or if I am really busy at home and I can't go out to go grab something. I can just order it and I'll have it delivered directly at my doorstep. Next, I have the Chipotle app.
Oh my God, I love Chipotle.
And then I have the Herbalife app, Smoothie King, Starbucks, Snap Kitchen. Pretty much this whole folder has to do with food if I want to order food in advance, but I need to cut down on a lot of them because I am back on the grind of eating healthier and exercising daily, which I want to talk about here in a second, in another folder where I keep track of all my health. But yeah, this food folder is just apps that have to do with food. Now the next folder is just a couple of games that I've downloaded. I hardly play games on my device, but if I'm ever bored or need to pass time while I'm out somewhere waiting on something, I have some games to kind of pass by time. So right now I'm playing Fortnite, and I also have GTA. I always download different games and then uninstall the previous ones, but let me know what your favorite game is at the moment. Next, I have my health folder, which is what I use a lot nowadays because I do need to eat healthier and exercise regularly and just overall be healthy and active. And these apps here are helping me do those things. So first I have the health app, which is a standard iOS application. Here it has all my health data. So things like steps, how much water I've drank, exercise minutes, flights climbed, all that stuff, my activity from my Apple Watch. So all this data is actually gathered from different apps that I use, which we'll go into right now, like the HealthMate app from Nokia. Here I'm able to see how many daily steps I've taken, also my weight. So I have a scale at the moment, and every time I weigh myself, it'll show that current weight here on this app, and the app will tell me my progress, if I've lost weight, gained weight, and how much I've gained. So it helps me track all of that with just this app. Now, if you do have other Nokia health tracking devices, you'll be able to see more information on this app, but right now I just have the weight scale, but maybe soon I'll add more devices to keep track of more health data. The next app is the Apple Watch activity app. So here I'm able to track my workouts, also how many calories I've burned, and the distance that I've either walked or ran. So this here is just a standard iOS app for your Apple Watch. And then next I have my Lifetime app. So this is what I use to check in to the gym that I go to. And then I have the Auto Sleep app, which keeps track of my sleep, but I do want to get something else because right now it tracks it from my Apple Watch, but sometimes it doesn't track it that accurately. So let me know what app or what devices you use to keep track of your sleep. But this app does give you a lot of information. It is a paid app, but I'm just not sure if it's that accurate. Now the next app is called Productive, and this helps me be a little more productive and build habits. So I've been using this app for a little bit, and I'm able to keep track of different things that I want to build a habit of, like exercising and running a mile a day, and also make sure I'm taking my vitamins and things every day. So far so good. I don't really think I need this app. It does require a subscription, but I don't know how much longer I'm going to use it after I do build those habits, but it's something to kind of jumpstart and help you build a habit. Now next is Lose It, and this keeps track of my calories every day. So I'm able to keep track of the food that I've been eating lately, which is very useful because I want to see exactly how many calories I'm eating every single day and how much protein, fat, or carbs I've been taking in. But this is a really good app to use if you do want to keep track of your calorie intake. And it also works with different things. So if I do weigh myself, it'll import that weight into this app automatically, which is pretty cool. But one of the things I do like and kind of is motivating for me is whenever I'm done logging in my food that I've eaten that day, I can hit I am done logging, and then it gives me an idea of when I should expect to hit my goal depending on the food that I've been eating and also the exercises I've been doing, because it does subtract the calories that you've burned. So it's really motivating to know that if you do keep up the work, you can expect to kind of be at your goal by that certain time that it tells you. Definitely recommend this if you want to keep track of your calories and kind of motivate yourself. Now the next app is called Gym Addict. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But this app I've been using a little bit. I've been trying it out. But one of the reasons that this app intrigued me is because it tracks the workouts that you're currently doing with your Apple Watch. So if you have your Apple Watch on, it'll detect the movement and motion of the current workout that you're doing. So if you're lifting weights on a bench press, it'll assume that you're doing bench presses, and then it counts how many reps you've done. But it's definitely helpful to keep track of your workouts and your progression. Now the next one is Fitbod, and this is an app that I really like because it tells you what muscle groups are currently being recovered, if they're fully recovered, or how much of a percentage they're recovered depending on the workouts that you've logged in. It gives you a visual on the body part depending on how many reps you did, how much weight you did, all according to your weight and height. But it also gives you workouts to do. One of the reasons I use it though is to log my workouts and then see what body part I should work out the next day. But this does require a subscription if you wanted to actually coach you and give you workouts. But right now I'm just using the free trial, but I might subscribe to it to give me different workouts and start doing different things. That way my body doesn't get used to the workouts that I normally do. The next app is called My Wellness, and this is just simply an app that I use for the treadmill at my apartment, just to keep track of how much I ran or calories I've burned. And the next one is another habit reminder app. This one helps me stay hydrated. So throughout the day, it'll tell me if I'm hydrated. So if I forget to drink water, it'll notify me so I can just log how much water I've drank. at that moment, and then it keeps track of it. But you can also use this app for other habits that you're trying to build. The next app is OralB, which is my toothbrush app because my toothbrush is an electronic Bluetooth toothbrush. Next is my music folder. So I have things like Sirius XM, Pandora, iPlayer Radio, live mixtapes, YouTube music, and iHeartRadio. These 6 apps are just different music services. You probably already know about those. And next I have the SoundTouch app, which is for my Bose soundbar, and also I have an AirPlay speaker. So with this app, I can control both of those and play different music streaming services on them directly through this app. And then I have the Jaybird app, which is for my Jaybird Freedoms and also my Jaybird runs that I've been testing out. So what's cool is that with the Jaybird Bluetooth headphones, you can actually change the equalizer and things depending on the type of music that you like or that you enjoy listening to. So you can click a certain preset or customize it to your liking. That way you have a better listening experience when you are using those Jaybird earbuds. Following that, I have the Bose Connect, which is for my other Bose speakers, just a Bluetooth portable speaker. So this is just simply an audio player for that speaker. And next I have the Shazam app, which you probably know what that is. It simply identifies what song is currently playing, so it'll give you the title and the artist and all that good stuff. Now going into my next folder titled Photo, these are going to be apps that have to do with editing photos or maybe even video. But here, the first app is Continual, and this app simply allows me to cut up a video. That way I can post it on Instagram stories. So if I have like a 1-minute video, for example, I can easily cut it up without having to use any external video editing software. I can do it directly on my phone through this app, and then I can just post those clips onto my Instagram stories. The next app is called VSCO, and you probably already heard of VSCO because it's a pretty popular app. This simply is an app that I use to edit photos and add different filters and things like that. Very useful if you want to really tweak up your photo, add different filters or different edits. But you can also edit videos in here as well. They have a subscription, so that way you can have access to all the filters, or you can buy them in packs. I've bought some different filters in the past, but I'm not a subscriber to the actual service, but maybe I'll try it out sooner or later. Now the next 4 apps all have to do with Adobe, and they are just photo editing apps as well. You probably already know about him. Now the next one is called InShot, and this one I've used I think once or twice. But if you want to edit or put video clips together on the go, this is a good app to use. So with this, you can add music in the background and things. So I've used this for my Instagram stories a few times. But you can also edit a photo and put like a canvas on the back. So it's a really useful app for video and also photos. Now the last app in my photo folder is an app called Tailor. This app simply combines screenshots, and say for instance you're taking a screenshot of your settings menu. If you want to combine something that's longer than what your phone shows, for example here, if I want to show like my whole settings menu, I'm able to take a screenshot of like the top portion and then the bottom portion, and then with Tailor it'll combine them automatically and make a long screenshot. Now my next folder is called Shop, and simply every app in here has to do with buying things, whether it be at a retail store or on Amazon. I also have apps where you can buy tickets to different shows or events or sports. And yeah, I mean, it's all has to do with buying stuff. Or also have apps like Retail Me Not and Groupon, where you can get like coupons or different deals or discounts at stores. But that pretty much sums up my shop folder. Has to do with buying stuff. Now the next one is my smart home folder, and this is what I use quite a bit because I've tried to make my apartment smart so I can just control it with either voice or through an app. So to begin, I have the Nest app where I'm able to control my thermostat. So whether I'm home or I'm away, I can set my thermostat to whatever temperature I desire from anywhere. Now the next one is my August Smart Lock, and this allows me to unlock and lock my door from anywhere as well. So I really like this because if I have any friends or family coming over, I can give them temporary access to my front door. So if I'm not anywhere near my house, I can either unlock it through the app myself, or since I'm giving them temporary access, they can unlock it as well without having to have a physical key. It's all done through the app and it connects through Bluetooth. So it's very convenient to have, and I've done a video on this way back in the day. So I'll try to leave a link down below if you want to see my full review of it. Now the next one is the Logitech Circle, which is Logitech Circle 2 cameras. I've done a review on this, so I'll try to leave a link down below in the description. that way you can check out my full review. But this is for my security cameras here in my apartment. I'm able to monitor from anywhere in the world as well because they're connected to my Wi-Fi network. And also it'll alert me if there's any motion or if it detects a person, which is pretty cool. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out the review that I'll leave down below in the description. Now the next app is Philips Hue, and this is for my light bulbs and also my light strips that I have. So I'm able to control my lights, whether I want to turn them on or off or set them to different colors. I can do it all through this app. And the next app is my Amazon Alexa app, which controls my Echo Dot that I have. And then I have this app called WeBack, which is for my robot vacuum. So with this app, I'm able to control my robot vacuum here at home and set different timers. If I'm away from my apartment, I can actually set it to vacuum my apartment at a specific time every day. Next up, I have this app called Homepass, and this allows me to save my HomeKit codes for all of my HomeKit accessories. So if I ever need to reset them and set them up again, I can easily look into this app and figure out what the HomeKit code is. Next, I have my Tile app, which are Bluetooth trackers, which I've done a video on, and I'll be sure to leave that one down below in the description too. But I have a tile on my car keys and also my apartment keys. So with this app, I'm able to ring those keys and then easily find them. Very, very convenient, very, very useful. The next app is Ring, and this is for the Ring video doorbell. I actually don't have one in my apartment because I can't really have one, but I do have one installed at my parents' house, and that way I can keep an eye on the house. If anybody ever rings the doorbell, I can chime in and answer the door, even if I'm miles and miles away from the house. If you're interested in knowing more about that, I do have a review for that as well. Now the next page has the Apple TV remote, so I can control my Apple TV with this app. And then I have the Light DJ Pro and also the On Switch, and these two apps have to do with the Philips Hue light bulbs and light strips. So with the Light DJ Pro app, if I'm playing music, the lights will actually go to the music. And the On Switch app has different presets for different moods and things like that. So if I want it to kind of feel like a fireplace, I can make the color of my lights turn warmer and resemble more of a fireplace. The next app is Google Home, and this just allows me to configure and set up my Google Home Mini. And the last one is called Sync Up Drive, which is a T-Mobile device and service. So with this, I'm able to track my vehicle's location, view if there's any issues with my car's battery or any issues with my car itself. Also tells me how much fuel I have, and also what's pretty cool is that it gives you Wi-Fi in the car. But that is my smart home folder. The next folder is my social folder, and this just has the rest of the social media apps that I don't have on my main page. So I have the default Twitter app, the Facebook Messenger, and other social apps that I use every now and then. Now my next folder is the travel folder, and these apps I use if I'm ever out of town or if I'm trying to book things to go out of town. But the top row I actually use not only when I'm out of town, but in the city as well. So Uber and Lyft, those are, of course, as you may know, transportation apps. The next app is the Waze app, and that's a navigation application, which is very useful. The next app is called Pay by Phone, and this allows me to put money in meters if I'm ever, for example, in downtown where they have meters so I can park. And if I don't have any coins on me to pay for the meter, I can use this app and load money into my meter, and it'll alert me if my meter is running low. Next is the Southwest app, which I use pretty much every time I travel. I also have Open Table, so this allows me to make reservations at restaurants. Now the last two apps is Hopper and Airbnb, and they're sort of the same. Hopper allows me to find the best deals when looking for a hotel, and Airbnb allows me to find the best places to stay, because here I'm able to rent from people that are renting out their homes or apartments. I use Airbnb a lot more than Hopper whenever I travel, but those two apps are very useful if you are looking for a place to stay. Now next I have the utilities folder, and in this folder is pretty much tools that I use on a daily basis to get stuff done. But the first app is 1Password, and this is a lifesaver because in this app I'm able to store all of my logins, passwords, everything that I use online pretty much in this app, because I know I cannot remember every single password that I set because everything requires a password nowadays. So 1Password makes life so much easier. With this, you're able to log in with 1Password. And once you enter that password, you'll unlock your vault and you can access all the passwords that you have set up for different websites, logins, and all that. So I highly recommend this app. Now I also have this app called Splashtop, and this allows me to remotely access my computer from anywhere I'm at. Next, I have the Panasonic app for my GH4, which is the camera that I'm using to record this video. And then I have the speed test app to test the different speeds wherever I'm at. And after that, I have Adobe Acrobat and also Adobe Fill-In Sign. These two apps kind of go hand in hand, but I'm able to open up PDF documents and sign off on them with these apps. Now next is an app called SongShift. And ever since I started using the Apple HomePod, it's been a hassle trying to move my playlist from Spotify over to Apple Music because I'm more of a Spotify user. But ever since I started using the HomePod, I've tried to use Apple Music a little bit more. But with this app called SongShift, it makes life a lot easier because what it does, it takes playlists from a certain music service like Spotify in my instance, and then it converts it all over to Apple Music. So all the playlists that I can have it all shifted over to Apple Music. So that way, if I do update a playlist on Spotify, it's gonna also update it on Apple Music. It works with other music streaming services, but Spotify to Apple Music is what I use it for the most. Now the next app is called Logitech Time, which is for a product called Logitech Time. And this little product is really cool because it tells you different things. You can set it up to however you like, but how I have it set up is where it will show me how many subscribers I currently have, how many followers on Twitter and Instagram, and you can customize it to whatever you like. But if you want to see a full video on this, let me know by hitting that like button. And then my last folder is my YouTube folder. So this has to do with anything with YouTube, whether it be my website or my analytics. So the first app is called Fullscreen, and this has to do with the network that I'm affiliated with, which is Fullscreen. Next is WordPress. So this is how I manage my website if I ever post anything on the website. And the next two app is FameBit and Refluence. And these two are great for content creators. So it allows you to connect with different brands and land different endorsements or sponsorships. So I've used these apps several times in the past and made some connections with different brands. Very useful if you want some extra income. Now the next one is Social Blade, and this pretty much you can keep track of different channels, but I use it for my channel to see the growth or just overall the numbers of my channel. Now the app next to that is called YouTube Count, and this just shows my YouTube subscriber count, and this kind of shows like real time, and it also gives you a graph of the subscribers you've gained or lost. And the last app is called Boomerang, and this is an email app, and the only purpose I use this for is to schedule out emails. Meaning if it's late at night or if it's a weekend, for example, people aren't usually in the office or they're not checking their email until maybe Monday or the following morning. So with Boomerang, I'm able to schedule out an email to be sent out at a specific time, because sometimes if you send it on a Friday and they're already out of the office, it might get buried with new emails once they see all their emails on Monday, causing to may even miss your email. So that's just a thing that I do, and using the Boomerang app, it makes it easy. There's more features on it, but that's the only purpose I use it for. But other than that, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. If you did enjoy it, let me know by hitting that like button below, as it not only lets me know that you did enjoy it, but it also supports the channel. And if you're not yet following me on social media like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all my links will be down below. That way you'll be up to date with what is going on. And lastly, if you feel like being awesome, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. That way you get notified when I drop my next video. But other than that, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Appreciate your support very much, and I'll catch you all on the next one. All right, peace.